Hello friends, welcome to Vinyl Jansen. My name is Kasper Jansen. Today I am going to be taking a look at the Evanescence Ultimate Collection. What's it all about? Is it worth buying? What does it contain? Well, let's have a look inside. Now I already unwrapped this one, but in the front there was this sticker, and if you pause it right now, you should probably be able to read this yourself. I hope so. But it says, the Ultimate Collection, 6 LPs, 100-gram vinyl, contains the studio albums Fallen, The Open Door, and Evanescence, and officially available for the first time ever, Origin. The bonus LP, Lost Whispers, collect the career-spanning B-sides. Featuring 2 new vinyl exclusives, the studio version of the tour intro Lost Whispers, a very special acoustic update of the classic Even in Death, custom lyric inner sleeves, and a 52 case-bound book featuring rare photos and handwritten lyrics and artwork from Amy Lee's journals. Wow! Let's have a look. First of all, the book. It's an amazing quality. You can see, like this, it looks freaking awesome. And on the back, you can see Emily's face is in a sort of a watermark. And then on the side it says Evanescence. I won't spoil it all, but I have to show you some of the pages just to give you an impression of what's inside. I can see, for example, of the album Origin, there's a few photos and some notes. And as soon as you get used to Amy's writing, then I think it's pretty awesome. And it's good to know. You can see notes splashed all over the place, and what she thought about some of the tracks. There's also some lyrics and some lyrics from some of the songs. Well, yeah. And for example, for the Open Door album, she's written what's the idea of this album. And to show you one more page, you can see a lot of handwritten stuff. So, well, if you want to see more, you have to buy the collection. Now, let's go through the albums one by one. The first album is Evanescence Origin. And what do I think of this record? I've actually never listened to it before. And I must say I was very surprised in a good way. This contains a lot of demos, old demo tapes, and a piano version, still with Amy Lee's perfect beautiful voice, of My Immortal, and I think that's actually did pretty good. This album is some sort of more raw, but it doesn't suffer from one of the later issues that I have with this band, is that there's the wall of sound of epic bombastic guitars, and it's not present on this album. And I actually think this one was pretty cool. I really like this one because it's more calm. It's both more calm, more raw, more melancholic somehow. And you can see inside, look like this. Got the lyrics, and it's on black vinyl. I won't show you every vinyl. Just telling you, all vinyl records are black in this collection, so no need to show them all. And the back looks like this. You can see the title tracks, or the tracks. And then we come to their debut studio album, Fallen. I guess if you ask anyone who's not familiar with the band so much and you say Evanescence, oh, Going Under, Bring me to life, my immortal. Yeah, Evanescence rocks. Well, yeah, you can say, yeah, little friend. They probably do. But this album was a huge hit, and this also have a very nostalgic. I'm also very nostalgic about this one because I listened a lot to this. I listened a lot to this record, or the CD actually, when I was in late high school. Because I was kind of an outsider that didn't listen to mainstream pop, Backstreet Boys, Westlife. There's nothing wrong with Westlife or Backstreet Boys. Really, there isn't. I just didn't listen to it back in my school days. And this is actually also a very melancholic album. You can see it's kind of an outsider album, like, mad teenager or a sad teenager, if you will. And the record is on. It's only one record, and the title tracks are here. So I think that if you never heard of Evanescence before, or you want to take a look in, then you might check out Fallen. I have a little, and this is actually after taking another listen to it, I started to notice that one of the problems I actually slowly get with the band, which I think it's such a shame. The production is clear and the sound is very good, but they play so loud. It's like a wall of sound, a wall of aggressive guitars and a lot of bass and synth, and this is very bombastic, very epic and sad music at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it seems like that Amy Lee is struggling with her to sing louder than the music is, and that's a shame, because sometimes it feels like she's struggling too much to actually sing, and the vocals drown in that wall of sound, which I really think is sad. And another thing I had about when listening to this one again, once I got through the first half and we're going to flip the record, I actually wasn't inspired to do so, because, well, I did, of course I did, but I feel like that some of the tracks actually remind a lot of each other, and they don't actually on the entire side B on this one. I actually had problems telling the tracks apart, which is a goddamn shame, because the lyrics are beautiful, they really are, but it just didn't click with me as it used to do. But I must still say that this album has a very nostalgic feeling to me, so I still spin it now and then, just for the sake of the nostalgia. I'm sure many people who listened to Evanescence back in the beginning of the millennium agree with me. Well, I can't say, but then we have their next album, The Open Door. I actually never listened to this one before I got this box, and I must say I was very pleasantly surprised. This is an awesome album. It still suffers a bit from the problem with the wall of sound, but I don't think it was that aggressive, and it wasn't such a big problem on this one as it was on Fallen. But Amy is still struggling. You can still hear her struggling against the wall of sound. But this it shouldn't take the focus of this is beautiful music, beautiful lyrics, and it feels like it's a bit more creepy, actually. It contains my absolute favorite track of all time, Snow White Queen, which is about an obsessed fan. It's a true story about an obsessed fan that stalked Amy Lee and was just so obsessed and was like, "You are my one and only. We're being together. You're going to be my Snow White Queen." It's an extremely creepy track, and so So this album, The Open Door, is actually a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit more creepy. And she, even though she still struggles against the wall of sound, it doesn't seem to be that bad. Again, what bothers me a bit about this album is, well, but that's just a personal matter, is that it is on 2 vinyl records, which I think it's really annoying, because there is 4 tracks on each side, so which means that when it has played for about 10 minutes or so, you have to flip it. And I think, why can't you just put this out on one vinyl? Because all the other albums are. Well, that's a first world problem, but just something I noticed. And then we have the self-titled Evanescence. What can I say about this? They're back in their aggressive wall of sound, and Amy struggling against the music. Well, the cover is pretty cool, and it's very beautiful. But this album didn't click with me. I know many people say that this is their best album. And yeah, it's very aggressive, and it's very loud, and it's very epic. But there's something missing, and I know what's missing. That's the variety of the songs, because I have such a difficult time choosing which. If someone told me, Casper, which 2 or 3 tracks should we listen to on this album, I would say it doesn't matter, because to me it all sounds the same, and I really think that's a shame. Well, but that's a personal opinion, and this is not a record that gets spent very often. I've listened to it 2 or 3 times, and it hasn't grown on me yet. Well, maybe it does in the future, but well, I can't tell at this moment. And then we have the last record, The Lost Whispers. I like the album cover a lot. See, like it looks like I just see it as a tiger. The smoke is like a tiger blowing smoke. I think it's pretty cool. This album is B-sides, and like the Origin album, I like this quite a lot. It's more calm. There's some instrumental numbers, and a very calm beauty again, and again a lot of emotions in the lyrics writing, and she and of course Amy's beautiful voice. It's like an angel, the voice of an angel. So this album is actually one of the better, and I think I like this just as much as I like the Origin album. And if you're going to listen to one track from this album, then I'll suggest you listen to Missing. The Missing track. Well, not the Missing track, but a track called Missing. So, that's it, folks. That was Evanescence, the Ultimate Collection vinyl box. My overall impression of this collection is it's a pretty neat release. It really is. It's a great quality, and the sound of the records production is extremely well done, and it's very well made. So if you are an Evanescence fan, well, while you're still watching this video, go ahead, go out and get this box now. If you're not an Evanescence fan, if you've just heard a few tracks and thought, well, yeah, Bring Me to Life, Going Under, My Immortal, yeah, pretty cool albums, I'll probably buy the collection then. Well, maybe you shouldn't, because I think a lot of stuff in here is fan stuff. I must say I was pretty amazed by the Origin album, which I've never heard before, and the Lost Whispers album was also good. But I knew Evanescence, and well, I took a chance and bought this collection, and I really ended up liking it. But I will say if you just want to check out who they are, then start with the Fallen album, or even better, start with the album The Open Door, because I don't think you can buy the Origin or the Lost Whispers album separately, but I know you can with the Open Door album. So check that out. And if you are as nostalgic as I am about Evanescence, then you probably already own the Fallen album. What I think is a bit odd about this release, they call it the Ultimate Collection. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. But it doesn't contain their latest album. And I think it was released about the same time, which I think is kind of odd. You know, the album called Synthesis. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced in English, but I would like to have seen that album in this collection just to you know, wrap it up and to be the to make it the ultimate collection. I feel that album is missing, but I guess you can just buy it separately. But it would have been nice to see it in here. So, should you buy Evanescence The Ultimate Collection? Definitely yes, if you're a fan. If you're not a fan, I've just listened to or just listened to a few tracks, then go for the Open Door album or for the Fallen album. That's my personal opinion. Well, that's all, folks. I hope you liked what you've seen. Please write down in the comment field if you have some comments. And if you like this video, you can hit the subscribe button, and you can also find me on Instagram, Jansen. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other, and keep playing some awesome records.